South Carolina State before becoming head coach. What does it mean to build a winning culture at the same university where your journey began?
It's very special to me. I've seen a lot of growth, not just in myself, but in players that have come and gone. But even with the guys that I played with, we all grew up, and good times and sad times. I had a friend of mine that I played with my freshman year that passed away recently. We're all reunited at the funeral, so it's special because you see the growth, not just in the guys that I played with, but in my players.
You are one of the winningest coaches in MEAC history. What has been the key to building such consistent success over the years?
Oh, it's a lot of hard work, a lot of prayer, a lot of hard work, just adapting to the new times. And but we just work hard. And I tell my players that I don't put a lot of pressure on them. That if we work hard in practice and we do the things that are required in the weight room and on the court and off the court, success will usually come. And we have a blueprint that we've used over the years, and we just kind of repeat the next year and see if it works. If it doesn't, we tweak a few things, but that's kind of been my philosophy.
Your teams often include student athletes from many different backgrounds and countries. How does that diversity shape the culture of your program?
I've got players obviously from all over the place, some from all over the United States, all over the world. It just brings people from different backgrounds together. And tennis and sports is about teamwork. And when you can get along with countries that you're supposed to hate, it transcends into everything that you're going to do in life. Whether you're in a business major, whether you're in a computer science major, whatever major you're in, it's really important to get along with people, because this world's based on relationships with people.
What do you focus on most when preparing your team during the season to stay competitive year after year?
Well, we do two segments. Obviously we have a fall segment, we have our spring segment. In the fall, we really work hard on physical conditioning, strength training, getting a lot of matches in, a lot of tournaments in, just to prepare players for the spring. And when we get into the spring, we're 100%. We're on the go. But we do a lot of evaluation, where players are at, where they need to be, hold them accountable, and I think that's just the model that's worked for us.
You've coached for many years and seen the sport evolve. How has college tennis changed, and how have you adapted as a coach?
Really, technology has changed a lot. That's an important part of adapting. Players have really changed. With the recent changes in NIL and revenue share, it's just something else. So every few years is something else. And then if you don't adapt as a coach, if you don't adapt as an institution, you get left behind. And that's just like in business, just like in any aspect of life, that you really have to adapt and become better. I've always got to become a better coach. That's my philosophy, is always that I can always get better. And so that's kind of what I do.
What keeps you motivated after so many years of success and recognition as one of the top coaches in MEAC?
Really, I think for me, is seeing that when the student athletes come, that they're different when they leave. They're better. They're just better people, and that really motivates me. It motivates me to be at a HBCU. We go to a lot of PWIs and bigger institutions that really don't give us a lot of credit. And then with our successful program, we've had a lot of success, and just that is it just keeps motivating you that people don't want to give you a chance, or people look down on you. But you know what? When you're on the court, everything's equal. And so that's been really powerful to keep me going, and hopefully that'll keep me going.
As you compete in the tournament here this week, what are you hoping for your players to gain from this experience?
Playing in MEAC matches is different than regular matches. There's a different type of pressure. There's a different type of expectation. And it's also, you want them to, experience playing, their sister institutions. That's important to me. And whether they're at a good level or a bad level, or, everybody changes year to year, but just knowing that there's other groups that are similar to you and that you're all battling for the same purpose is a real special thing. It's special because, that's what you work for. And, the MEAC has done a really good job, showcasing our championships. It's just such an elevation from where, when I started to where we're at now. And it's just the growth in the MEAC, it's the growth in all the institutions. And it's important to see, we live stream matches, we have an ESPN production, or we have, those type of things that much bigger conferences just don't do. So just knowing that the MEAC is heavily invested in tennis, not just other sports, but in tennis, and it's important for our student athletes to see that.
For student athletes who dream of becoming a coach or following a path similar to yours, what advice would you give them about preparing for that journey?
Really, you have to start slow. You have to have realistic expectations. It's a slow race, and players that want to do it fast, it's hard to succeed. You have to develop a culture, you have to develop a program. That program has to be what you want it to be, and that takes time. And you have to learn, you always have to be willing to learn. And you're gonna have good days and you're gonna have bad days. And hopefully you have more good days than bad days, but at the end of the day, I don't remember, as a coach, I don't remember the championships as much as I remember my players graduating, going on in life, having kids. When I started, I was young, and when my players are graduating now, that's about what age I was. And it's great to see. And then you hope for the best for their journey, and you hope that you've given them the tools to succeed.
This MEAC Nation podcast was produced by the MEAC Digital Network. The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of those entities they represent. Make sure you stay connected to us for more great programming on the MEAC Digital Network.